What up, YouTube? What up, folks? I hope everyone had a good week, had a good Friday. Maybe you're still having a good Friday. Lucky you. Today, I wanted to go over a song I couldn't wait to play when I was beginning guitar, and then for some reason didn't learn it until 4 or 5 years later into my guitar journey. Oh Sweet Nuthin by the Velvet Underground. Whenever I heard this song on the classic rock radio, I thought that's just such a cool song. Also, there's a great cover of it by the Black Crows or the Black Keys. I think it's the Black Crows. I don't know. But fantastic. 10 out of 10. It's a pretty simple song with a little bit of some chord borrowing from relative keys. Or, well, maybe not relative keys. Neighboring keys. I don't know what the proper term is. I need to do some research, obviously. I need to practice my music theory more. But this is my form of practice. So the start of the song, the whole entire song is actually just this. So we're going to start with C major to B flat major to F major to C major. Say a word for Jimmy Brown. He ain't got nothing at all. Pretty simple. That's the whole entire song. C major, B flat major, F major. Play it however you want. All right. The thing that confused me in the beginning was if we're thinking in the diatonic key, C major. This is in the key of C major. Our chords are what? C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, B diminished. I'm not gonna do that off the top of my head. And back to C. So our B is our 7, right? C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which would be our B diminished. But we're doing a B flat major chord. So the way I look at this is it's borrowing from another key that shares quite as many notes as the key of C. Quite as many notes? That shares almost the same amount of notes as the key of C. So in the key of C, our notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? In the key of F, which is a chord I know, in the key of F, there's one flat, which is B flat. That's the 4 chord. And in the key of F, the notes are, let me think, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, right there. So our B flat is the 4 chord, and it's a major chord, right? So if we go F, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, E diminished to F. That 4 chord is a B flat. So the easiest way to look at it is it has one different note than the key of C, which is the B flat. So it borrows a chord. It borrows the major 4 from the key of F. So you could think in terms of theory, it's in the key of C, but borrows the major 4 from the key of F. And since the whole song is just C, B flat, F major, let's talk about major and minor pentatonics, because that's where I kind of had an epiphany, and I'm still having an epiphany, and I'll probably forever have an epiphany because I don't take enough time to understand scales and stuff. But I don't take enough time I understand them. I don't take enough time like learning the licks in them and stuff. But I understand how they relate. So in the key of C, we have the excuse me, the major scale, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You can play that all the way up. But let's think in terms of pentatonic, because the song, really the licks are played in A minor pentatonic shape. For example, right? It starts off like this. Right? And I fully recommend you go listen to the song. Go listen to the song, listen to the licks. To this day, I still, when I play through it, I try to like hear one of the licks and copy it. But as you can hear, it's using all the same notes in the A minor pentatonic, but the relative major to the A minor pentatonic is always the flat third in the key of whatever you're in. So if we're in the key of A minor pentatonic, it'll be the flat, or well, if we think in A major, right? A, B, C, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F, G, A sharp. In the key of A major, well, our third is a C sharp, but if we flatten it, that's how we get the A minor, and that's how we get the A minor pentatonic. We flatten two notes, the third and the seventh, which makes it the blues scale. The flattened seventh in a key of, in any key, you get that flattened seventh, which would be the G. So, sorry, went off on a tangent. Anyways, the way to think about this is, well, if C is our relative major, then if we start on the key or the note C and play the A minor pentatonic, it sounds like the major pentatonic for C, right? So if we go, change our ears. And it all kind of depends on where you land too, right? So if I C, D, C, see how I hit that low A? But as long as I am. So it's all relative, and that's why it's called the relative major and minor. So just think like that. You can use the A minor pentatonic scale in this, but we still have that B flat, right? Who's to say you can't throw in notes since you're borrowing a B flat, a D, and an F, which are all in the key of C still, but you're borrowing that B flat. So, you know, you could technically, right, you could definitely, the way to think about it is using a chord tone, and if you're playing the B flat, you can use it. It might not sound great. I would say stick to the major pentatonic scale of C, but you could definitely throw in that F. Right? Sounds great. It kind of creates like a positive thing over that. I don't know. You could do whatever the heck you want with it. But just know you can use the C major pentatonic, and the other position close to this by this root note would be this position. Sorry, got a text message. C, D, E, G, A, C, C, D, E, shift up, A, C. So right here. And I do hear on the record that he goes way up there and does a bend, but he's still using the A minor pentatonic or the C major pentatonic scale up there. So he's essentially using this position. So it's a pretty cool song. Have fun, enjoy it. I like this song. It's a pretty good campfire song too, and I feel like it's easy to sing. I feel like all of the Velvet Underground stuff is like, you don't really have to try that hard, you know? So, or well, you can if you want, but that's kind of their aesthetic, right? It's kind of like raw and rugged. Anyways, say a word for Ginger Brown, or Jimmy Brown, or Perla May. Anyways, just wanted to upload something, have fun. Peace.